Hello, my name's Rod Martin. I work at Moe's Outdoor Equipment, Ace Hardware. I'm here today to show you how to do a screen repair at home. We start out needing a few simple tools. Obviously a nice large flat area to place the screen on to do your work from. Simple tools you do need, it would be a punch and a screen roller. Pretty simple tools. Also a sharp edge. The first step is to choose a proper screen for your particular application. The most popular screen is the black fiberglass. Next we have the pet screen, which is pet resistant. If you have dogs or cats that like to claw through the screens, that's a good choice. We also have the more old-fashioned aluminum screen, both in aluminum color and in black. We also have the fiberglass in a gray that looks like the old-fashioned screen but gives you the durability of the fiberglass. That's your basic choices and types of screen available to you. Now the first step when repairing a screen is to put your screen frame on a nice flat surface. Second step is to remove your old spline. It's usually very easy. You just use the probe to start it. You just undo it all the way around. Dispose of that, and then dispose of the old screen. Put your frame back together. Now, as you see here, we have two straight edges that help us keep the screen square, and that's very important. One of the toughest things about doing the screen yourself, if you over tighten it, it will do a hourglass shape and it will not fit your window frame any longer. So it's very important. It's a fine line to either to over tighten it or under tighten it. If you under tighten it, it'll wave, or the screen will look wavy. If you over tighten it, you'll squeeze in the frame. Next, we choose the type screen that we're going to use. In this case, we're using the black fiberglass. You just stretch it out over the screen. Make sure you have the right length. I always let it overhang a few inches on each end. Take your sharp edge, cut it off, then roll this up out of the way. Then you choose the proper spline, the right diameter. It's usually easy just to use the old spline. There's where your punch comes in. You start the spline in the edge and you use the punch to push it into the channel, just to get it started. Then you use your roller. Now the roller has two ends on it, a concaved end and a straight end. Use the concaved end to start your spline. On a smaller screen like this, I always hold it and stretch it just a little bit. Makes it much easier to roll it into the channel. You get to the end. Once again, you use your punch. Come around the corner. Do the same process. Punch it in. Once again, stretch the spline a little bit. Now these first two sides, you don't have to worry too much about the tautness, because now the next two sides is where you're going to get the tautness in. I flip it around so it's still against the square edges. Some screens have the little tabs that you can grab them to pull it in and out of the window. Always make sure you put them back in place. Now is when you try to keep it a little taut. And now the actual spline itself going down will tighten it this way and will tighten it that way when you do it. But I like to kind of just give it finger tight. Once again, if you over tighten it, you'll hourglass the frame. On larger doors like patio doors, screen doors, there should be at least one cross brace in it to keep that, because the bigger doors will hourglass a lot easier than the smaller windows will. So always put at least one center brace through on patio doors or screen doors. Said just pull it finger tight. I like to turn it again. Now here's where, once again, finger tight, so you don't get any creases. And it's tight enough where it won't flap in the breeze. Now the spline will hold these little tabs in place when you squeeze it down in there. Now when you get to the last corner, there's usually a little bit of a crease. You just work it out with your finger. Boom. Take your straight edge, trim the excess spline off, push it down in there, good and tight. Now, you take the straight edge of the roller and just basically just go over it one time just to make sure your spline's seated all the way down. Now, very simple. Take your razor blade, go into the corner, and just trim off the excess screen. Once you have your screen cut out, this is your completed screen, ready to go back in the window. Again, my name's Rod Martin, here at Moe's Outdoor Equipment, Ace Hardware. If you have any questions or need the screens repaired, come see us.